Yeah, man. There's some things happening with our nation. Some current events,
Right.
and there's a lot of different uh, opinions. Overall, for me, I'll say this though. I think that Saladin had good intentions. I think that it was a good idea. It was just poorly executed. It was poorly
Yeah.
executed. He went about it the wrong way. Um, had we had that Zoom call before he took that action,
Yes.
that would have been that move that he was attempting to make would have been solid because all those questions would have been addressed before he took that action. So had he had did that first, knowledge would have been in place, and the wisdom would have been wise, and we could have come to the best part. But being that he went out of the order of operations, it was it's not right. It wasn't right and exact, and I think that his efforts is lost on is lost. His efforts is lost, and now we have to do we have to show and prove
Right.
that what he did has nothing to do with us because that's not knowledge wasn't the foundation in the first place.
Right. Like today's mathematics, knowledge, culture. We got some people have to really know the culture, God, and and some people know the culture isn't really the truth. Not to say that a solid name, don't have the truth, but I'm just speaking of today's mathematics. With everything you just said, that's the whole basics of this. See, our nation of people, we got so much outside of protocol that it's like, okay, let me hurry up and do it. Remember I used to say, yo, I can chew up and walk now? A lot of people really can't chew up and walk yet because they are really moving too fast and not dealing with the protocol of that social equality, meaning building with a group of men or a group of women to really solidify a supreme understanding, then execute it. Because he should have had a Zoom call with quote unquote a few said people of that ability to kind of guide him or give him feedback instead of beating him in the head or talking to him and all those things, which
Yeah, I
is
mean, I
fine.
guess I guess his mindset was that it's time sensitive and he needs to do it now. But here's the thing, though, for me is that it's just like getting married under the government.
Absolutely.
You don't get married under. I mean, unless you want to have the government as the primary dictator of the situation, and that's what marriage is. Marriage is, the two people who get married, they just two legs of it. They're not even the mind of the contract. They're not even the real direction. They're just two legs that are just walking the contract. They don't really have much to do with the contract.
Yeah, exactly. And also we dealing with money and finances when we talk about trademark and all that type of stuff.
Under the
And
U.S. government.
under the U.S. government, not under a law for a manifest. As listen,
Or not even that, just even like international law. It wasn't because this is the U.S. Trademark and Patent Office of the United States. This is United
right?
States.
But yet, it's still in the laws for a manifest. We got some patent and some shit. I mean, things that we do too to solidify yes or no or no now cipher. We can't do that because just like you said, the marriage thing, that's in the laws for a manifest too. Because some people still get married.
Right.
Some people, see, self preservation is too. What's the word I want to use? It's in our culture. It's too like Well, I'm gonna do me. I gotta do me. It's self-preservation. Yes, of course, but not in nature. It's us. It's just an us thing. It's not a you.
Right.
And I think the brother kind of went to the okay. Let me do this real quick. Going back to protocol, God. We have certain things now. If you really tapped in or you're tuned in with this coach, I'm not talking about no video, no hip hop, no anything. If you really tuned in, I'm not saying come to Parliament every single last Sunday, anything like that, but you're tuned in certain things in nation business and nation activities. You should know to. You know what? Let me find out who I need to present this to first. Remember Boy Bass with the Cape? The Cape God.
Yeah.
He kind of did the same thing. Yet he brought it to a forefront later when, remember God always talk about structure, the nation structure. See, if we had a really supreme structure, that God would have knew, okay, let me go to the Allah school and deal with it here in Mecca first. Then I go to Medina. Then I go to Pilon. Then I go to yada yada. Then I go back to Niagara Falls.
Right.
Because the God is a very good organizer. He knows what he's doing, and it does make sense to trademark or have ownership of things, but sometimes ownership can get out of hand with direction. Because people can look at him as a 10%, and people can look at him as, okay, what he gonna do with this? Okay, who is he gonna pass it off to? Now you have all these other questions.
Oh yeah, I mean this is definitely a lot of layers to it, but to address your point in terms of like the ownership of it, we have a good standing or have shown and prove that we can show and prove that we have actively used this flag since 1967. When the original images were handed to the to the state or to the city for them to make the pins for the 5%ers. This is in 1967.
Right. Exactly.
So we have that on record already, and our own National Archives shows and proves that this image has been in use way before Saladin was in existence. You see what I'm saying? So we can show and prove that without marrying onto the government, without going into contract with the government to say that we own this image. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I get that people, that you don't want people to use the flag and or people who are not about this. However, how would being in contract with the United States government enforce that, right now, whether it be by lawsuits or whatever? All right, we have our own policies when it comes to when we see the flag being misused or misrepresented. We have our own policies, and the first policy is to teach, right? Now, and teaching, when somebody violates the flag, and we go to the U.S. government and say that this person is in violation of our terms of agreement, what policy will the U.S. government use? You see what I'm saying? With their policy that the government uses would never be the policy that the fight. It wouldn't be to go teach them. So that in itself is a violation of our own policies and our own laws, rules, and regulations.
Now you're speaking of a law's world.
Right. I'm talking about in our own world, because see, we're not trying to marry on to the government, or we have our own way of life. Not to say that we're anti-government, because I don't want that to be misconstrued that we're anti-government, but what the government does for itself and what we do for ourselves doesn't always align. You see what I'm saying? So our position is with our flag is to teach, and for them they may want just take it off, and then then we got to go to court, and we got to prove. It's a whole bunch of things that he's involved us in by taking this action that really doesn't have anything to do with our way of life.
100. Absolutely. That's exactly my point right there, God. Right there, what you just said. Because look at this. I had I own a Rolex that a friend gave me, and the bezel was messed up or whatever, so I took it to my jeweler downtown. Right? Why my jeweler had about 4 universal flags in that iced up. He don't sell them anymore. And I didn't have to bully him or anything like that. I just said, yo, listen, if anybody, first of all, I said, yo, you still got the names of these people who got this? And all these names wasn't righteous names. So I'm like, okay, listen, Amir, this is what you do. Anybody come get these flags, you got my number, call me. Better yet, I just go remelt these down, take diamonds out, and just don't sell them. Because we have people that are coming here for wrong reasons to represent this flag, or for whatever reasons. It may could have been the true living God, just using their government name. However, the same thing with trademarking or even copyrighting the title universal flag. However, there's still a protocol to that. And the God didn't take protocol with reaching out to so-called sad persons.
Well, and that right there to me, again, I got a lot of respect for Saladin, and what, right, I got a lot of respect for him and a lot of what he does, but I do think that was like some big headed scientist thing, and I built with him personally. I built with him personally, and I told him that that action has some arrogance in it. And to be mindful of the arrogance when you're dealing with our nation, or when you're dealing with people in general, but in particular our nation, because at the end of the day, it's knowledge first, and
exactly,
and to knowledge is to respect. You see what I'm saying? So right. We want to minimize the arrogance, but I think it was a big-headed scientist move, in terms of thinking like. He didn't think that we could all come together as one. And then when he took this action, he from what I'm gathering, he thought that either we would have to move with his course of action, which was the trademark, or
kind of went that way.
Huh?
That's what it looked like.
It looked like what?
Well, exactly what you just said. It kind of when he took the initiative to do that. It was like self-preservation. This is me. I'm gonna do this.
Right. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. But I think that he thought that the argument, once we got to, discussing it, that the discussion would be either we would move forward with what he has, or we would have to dissolve it and let people continue using it the way that they've been using it. When in reality, we said no. See, I don't think he kept in mind that. Or I don't think he even thought of the fact that we have been actively using it since the 67, and that if anybody were to like really infringe upon it, we have means of taking care of it by means of teaching, and maybe in his mind that's not enough. Maybe in his mind, we need the law of we need the actual government to enforce our laws.
We haven't been though.
Right? No, we haven't. No. But then that's why you have people, jewelers like the one that you mentioned. You have
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like because he thinks that if we could, once we have the law on our side, the U.S. government on our side, we can use that as a sword to above the heads of these jewelers, Macy's or fucking Walmart, whoever's selling it.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Now let me ask course you will. Do you feel Mecca, Harlem, is the hub of that universal flag?
Yeah, that's where the knowledge and wisdom of this nation started. Right.
Okay. Now, that's the foundation. Anything I ever done with this nation, I started there first. Regardless if from there, whatever, I still went to the hub to get permission. Because I started the parliament in Atlanta, God, did all that remixing, whatever I done, I had to come to the hub first. I didn't just say, you know what, F it. I'm about to, just start. No, I didn't do that. Because at that time, I had proper education from the man who taught me. So he directed me to one place, so I went to this place, and I spoke to these men and these men and these men. I got the okay. So now, if someone calls and say, hey, yo, who's this boy Shakim 7, at the hub, they're going to make knowledge boy like, yes, that brother, he's one of us, and yes, he got the permission to do that. If Saladin had done it that way, Saladin could have called me. I'm like, yo, listen, okay, hold on. Let me plug you with such and such, such and such first. Then they set it up. God, they could have put a committee together that came up with a determined idea with that. Long as they started from the hub, with 5 boroughs, did it with out there where he was at.
Yeah, God. I mean, God. Like I said, had we had that Zoom call beforehand, we would have the idea or what he was striving to do would be so rock solid. You see what I'm saying? That because all those kinks would have been taken out. All those different things. Because I don't know. I mean, you was on the Zoom call that night, what right?
No. I wasn't on it. I just heard about it.
Okay. Well, on that Zoom call,
I saw the interview with him and Josh Shamel and the 360 thing.
Right. Okay.
I saw that.
Okay. Well, there was over 100 people on that call. You see what I'm saying? And on that call, various gods and earths chimed in and spoke about it. And some of the questions and some of the positions, that they were very significant. They were significant positions in terms of how we need to move forward with our universal flag and our image and controlling our narrative. And these are the things. Some of the things that were presented was some things that Saladin hadn't considered.
And God, what's one of my biggest things every time I see we on the phone, I mention structure. This nation needs a remix structure, God. Yeah. Simple and plain. To know, because if we had the actual structure for things, even with the lessons, even with how things are ran and all these things, nowadays, in this Asiatic year, that brother would have known better than this. He wouldn't have been, well, I don't know, but self-preservation again, the structure again.
Well, I mean, it's just a matter of being in tune. God. It's just a matter of being. I think see, Saladin. And this is what I built with him personally about in terms of, his in the world of academia, he has done great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's done great in the world of academia.
Excellent.
All right, he's excellent. He's been excellent in the world of academia. However, the world of academia is still catching up to a law world manifest.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right. So with that being said, I think he needs to be more in tune with a law world manifest. Not to say that he's not to say that he's out of tune or anything. I'm just saying that there's things that he's doing in the world of academia and his academic accomplishments that he thinks that a law world manifest may lack. A law world manifest may just lack when he just all he needs to do is, if he was really in tune with a law world manifest, he would have known not to take those steps and again, like you're gonna get a universal flag. Somebody said on the call and said, "What, you're gonna have a universal flag and have a TM on the bottom of it?" You know what I'm saying? Like, Like that doesn't that doesn't even sound like, so in the name of Allah and on the bottom TM, like that doesn't even really sit right. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is like we're independent of that.
What laws outside of Allah where it manifests do we go by, and what ones we don't go by?
Right. I mean, God. See, you mentioned that word structure. There is a structure there. It's just not, what everybody is accustomed to.
Okay. Pardon me. The structure, we're all not on the same page.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
That's what I mean by structure.
That's a fact.
Yes, we got a structure.
We don't all agree.
We have that. We don't have a structure where it's like this. We still arguing about what your lesson say. We still arguing about smoking cigarettes. We still arguing about you ain't vegan. We still arguing about power fund. We still arguing about all these things that we was arguing about in the 90s. So now, here comes the millennium gods and earth. Uptown now, God, like I said before, my neighborhood is a crip neighborhood now. And them young gods have replaced cripping as the way of life and the religion as being a father sinner. So we got to clean this up in my own neighborhood in Harlem.
Yeah.
God. And God, it's hard, but I'm not afraid. Because a lot of old dudes, they're afraid. They're not in it. God, if I'm in Delaware or Philly, I'm still making my way to Harlem to go in my neighborhood. I'm about to do Atlanta the same way. Atlanta got a gang problem too. It's a difference. I got gang member friends and family members. Yeah, I know how to tell them, yo, you can't do that with that. No. You can't do that. This is not how this works. But yeah, it's still, when these brothers say, yo, God, I can't go to the hospital to get a Metro car. I ain't get a Metro car from one of the homies right here. They got a point there. But me being petty piece of shit, I said, yo, God, Metro car is $275. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get a Metro car? Like, you just walking backwards. You got a Metro car instead of buying backwards.
Right.
But yet still, that's how they're thinking today. Because back then, we'd jump the turnstile if we can have it. Or one of the guards give us da-da-da-da-da-da-da. However, our structure, we're not on the same page as of today. And when people say 120 is outdated, no, your mind outdated.
Yeah, right.
Your mind is just outdated.
Right.
That's it. You gotta keep going. The Asiatic calendar is starting at 15,058. None of that. It keeps going.
Well, I say this, God. The man learned that we are capable of coming together as one. On at least you see how that call. If you really seen how that call went, and how
yes, it's always as a disagreement. We come together like that. And warriors and all that as a disagreement.
Well, yes. But on that call there, I say that there was the general consensus was, we need to really come together as one mind and really figure this out. Now,
exactly, a meeting of the minds starting in Mecca first, then we bring.
Well, no, but that meeting, God, that was a meeting of the minds. Brothers was all over the country on that call. Brothers was all over, brothers and sisters.
About COVID, all that, we need a physical meeting of the mind. That internet shit that's why we like that right now, because of the internet. I guarantee you, 75 of the people that was on that Zoom call ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. So I'm going to listen to it later when I go sit down and chill.
Well, yeah, no, do it now to the call. I mean, the call. I think it was peace. It was peace. It was peace that we had, and I think we need to have those more often, as well as we need to figure out how that we can come together in the physical more often. However, due to those physical limitations, we can have those calls more often and address a lot more of our nation's issues.
Yeah, those heads. So it's only 100 people can get on these Zoom calls.
No, actually more. No, the reason why, the reason why there was only 100 people that got on this particular call was because the guard didn't pay whatever it was, and he didn't know that it was going to be that many people on the call. You know what I'm saying? But
I did.
yeah, you know, but
Killer bees.
had we had that set up, whereas you know, because you pay a certain amount with Zoom, yeah, you can have more than 100 people on a call. You know what I'm saying?
But that's exactly what we need to work on this shit. Like we need to have we really need to have a meeting of the minds, everybody to fix all this confusion. And then we can move. Then we'll move forward in these years. It won't be confused. People will not be confused anymore, or say this or say that, or do any of these things. We need to have that as soon as possible. Like we had show approved, we gotta have a meeting of the minds for all these people everywhere. If you represent Canada, you should come to this meeting of the mind. If you represent Philadelphia, you should be at this meeting of the mind. If you represent Long Beach,
right.
So now we have everybody from 50 states or wherever these countries, even the people from Colombia. We got people that can translate Spanish and do all that too. Yeah. Now, from that Zoom call, what was the determined idea from that Zoom call? Gotta have another meeting of the minds.
Have another meeting of minds. Well, yeah, and I, because there was 3 choices. The guard, Minister of Freedom, put up 3 choices, and those choices was either A, you either with going forward with what Saladin has brought to the table, or B, you dead it right then and there, or C, we have another discussion. I voted C because I wanted everybody to examine even the recording of that meeting and go through, because he put Saladin in the beginning. He spent about an hour or so giving a presentation of why he did what he did, right? And some of those things were respectful, but then some of those things had holes in it. And then later on, a lot of brothers and sisters addressed some of those holes and those the legalities and the legalese of the actual the contract with the government. So so I voted C. I voted C because I think that was something that we needed to continue to consider. Now later on, I'll build with Doc Kim. Doc Kim's position now is basically going to the national treasury of the United States and saying, like, look, y'all have a record of us using this from back in the days. And whatever this man, Saladin, has done has nothing to do with us. It has absolutely nothing to do with us. But that record alone should show that we have rights over him, because
that's what you gotta bring lawyers. You gotta have lawyers for that type of shit, though.
Yeah. But at least it should be recognizable, and he should recognize too. Now that the point has been brought to him that what he has is null and void, really, in comparison to because Shamgar returned to the essence and Bill God in 1987. So him going, and that was before he even came around. You see what I'm saying? So with that should show, and it was been in use. We have Sons of Mans, we have pictures, we have we have our own national archives. Outside of what I've done from 2014, y'all, like we have our own national archives going back years, months, and days that could show and prove that we have been actively using this flag way before this man came around. So that alone should trump whatever paperwork he put into effect. And the fact of when it says on the application, do you have control? Do you have control of this image?
That's right.
Whatever he put there was not the truth.
Right. So if we do that, whose name is going to go there?
Right. See, now that's
somebody lawyers got to come into play. And whoever that meet none of mine, we gonna have to figure this out. What it's gonna be, or it's not gonna be. Fuck the shit and leave it alone. But we know the devil is gonna come to scoop it up. Think about it. That's a good point too.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but then again, like I said, we have the natural. The show it shows that we have because first of all, the United States flag is not copywritten. It's not trademarked. It's in the public domain. But the United States government can show and prove that they have been utilizing ever since its creation.
The who?
The United States government.
States. That's a business.
Right, and that's a business. That's a corporation that did not trademark the United States. The United States flag is not trademarked, nor is any flag in the world trademarked.
No, not at all.
None of no. But all those flags in the world can be active, can be shown and proven that they were, whatever country utilizes them has been utilizing for whatever set period of time. So anybody else, any Johnny come lately is trying to, put a claim to it. It could be shown and proved that that's not right and exact. And that's the same case here. See what I'm saying? So we don't have to go in business with the actual government to prove that. We don't have to have a copyright. We don't have to have a trademark of our universal flag to prove that, and to consider that, not for nothing, Shamgar could have trademarked it, but he didn't. And whatever reason, he had his reasons for not trademarking it.
But who knows that? I don't know that. I never spoke. You spoke to Shamgar before?
No, I never spoke to him. I never spoke to him. But there was somebody. On that call, there was a brother, I forget his name, who actually built on that. Right. And that who knew Shamgar from when he lived in Ravenswood. Or even before that. But he used to go to Shamgar's rest, and because he had that same idea that Saladin had, and he brought it to Shamgar, and Shamgar said he didn't want that. So there was somebody on that call that see, this is why it's all important for us to come together as one, and because I personally never built with Shamgar, you personally never built with Shamgar, but there was somebody who did build with Shamgar, and there were people before us who had that same idea that Saladin had, and it was shut down. For whatever reason, it was shut down back then, and now it's coming to light now because he took action without addressing the body.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Crazy, man. Yeah, man. We get that structure. You want 25 grand for it? Okay. Yo, we get that structure together. I'm telling you, we won't have these problems. We won't have these issues because now people look like big eyes and little U's now. Like, who's this guy gonna do this? And people get upset with that. I had to calm a few people down. My phone was ringing off the crazy. And I'm like, yo, I'm out of sight right now, brother. I got some other things going on. Yeah, my ears are still to the streets, and I still care about how people move in this culture and do certain things. I call it like prime time, wisdom, knowledge. That 21, some people put their ways in actions before they actually think about things, man. This has stirred up some things with the old and the young, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, that's just, that's just us being a little bit more aware of ourselves. Sometimes things do need to be stirred up. So I'm not so mad at that. I just will that we can pull it together and be a little bit more, be more conscious of these
everybody
issues.
come up. You see, everybody came outside for this.
Yeah, that's
everybody came outside for this.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Because they want to hit the more king, they want to gossip and all this with that, and really not add on to the solutions. But Saladin got to have good people around him where he can call and
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't have confidence in the fact that we could come together and draw this up, like, you know, that bothers me a bit. You know what I'm saying? That
exactly.
he didn't have
Exactly,
he didn't have the confidence. He didn't have the confidence in us coming
but
together
he's
as one.
definitely a peace brother. He's a peace brother. He's a good brother. You know, he does a great job in what he does in Niagara Falls and what he does in a few places.
And not for nothing, you know, although this was, I know he had good intentions, but you know, good intentions could be the
good
path.
Good intentions not always
right. It could lead to the path to hell, right? So
exactly.
But this also shows his, you know, he does have a usefulness in this nation. He is.
Yes.
He's very useful and resourceful. He just has to be reminded of our principles, which is knowledge first. You know what I'm saying? And I know he knows that. It's just that, you know, this, you really had to really be reminded, because he did demonstrate that he overlooked that principle. He did demonstrate that.
Man.
Yeah.
That's why I have OGs. When they try to say I'm an OG now, but I have guards who have been here for years, months and days. And when I'm confused about something, or I want to make a move or do something, I have these individuals I can go to, like, yo, listen, let's sit down, man. I want to build you about something. Because I remember I was trying to get out Destroy game, right? And do my funny, right? I go, dude, I gotta build you, Carl. All right, come on, man, we talk. I said, yo, man, I'm trying to get out, man. I'm trying to get out. You know what Dumas said to me? He said, well, is you making some money? I know you're making some money. I said, no, I'm not talking about making the money. I'm saying I'm trying to get out. I'm tired of having one foot over here and one foot over there. Because, not for anything, it's sad for me to be in the music industry, working downtown in the school system, and doing Destroy Rule stuff. It started to bother me, God. I said, you know what? Let me hold fast on this. I got to stop trying to chew gum and walk with all these things or multitask. I got to relax. So let me get this out of the way. But yeah, if I didn't have individuals like Ali saved my life one time. And Ali knew, because Ali was in the streets of Harlem. He knew, God, it wasn't no place I couldn't go. Man, these brothers didn't know where I was at. And when it was time for me to get out, these brothers had to, you know, it was kind of like getting out of stuff all over again. Like, okay, well, what you gonna do? What else? You gonna do something else? Because it's like you were fine, but I always did other things. I had other things to fall back on. That's what this coach gave me. I don't know what it gave anybody else, because I was doing music before all of this. So the coach didn't give me no music, no rap, none of this stuff. It gave me the ability to observe who I am first and figure it out with that group of men who's going to say, yeah, you're wrong. You're right. Hey, man, you had it. Hey, look, figure it out. And if Sardine had it, if the brother needs that, man. And I'm not talking about just talking to people on the computer. I mean, some OGs that you call and check up on. Peace, God, you good? Wherever I'm at, I'm still in tune with people who helped me get to where I'm at. Because if it wasn't for this coach, God, I think I would have just been coming home 2014. That's a long time. But I survived that game from OGs leading me in the right direction instead of me thinking I'm in the right direction. Fast. And then here comes this red hell and all this other stuff. Right. The brother got a great intention. It was a great idea. Yeah, you need guidance, things like that when you're dealing with a hub and a nation of people.
Perhaps he thought he had that, but you know, it was proven that he lacked that. Whatever he had, he didn't fully use it to.
Yeah, he did. It's the same thing with Kate Man. Kate Man did the same thing.
Yeah.
Cake Man did the same
Well,
thing.
Cake Man, you know, he came to the body,
Yeah,
but
he
he
did
but
it
he, but
right.
he, but he thought
No,
he
but
thought that he
no,
could go.
he came to the body later. He did it on the internet first, and with a couple group of men and women.
No, but
First.
he thought that he thought that his determined idea would exceed whatever opposition that he had. That you know he,
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
Right.
right. So you know, and I think Saladin was trying to avoid the opposition altogether because he thought that it was
Man,
a,
you can never in this culture, you're never gonna avoid that.
that's a fact.
You're never gonna avoid that.
That's a fact.
Even the women too. They got a slight chance. Nobody can avoid that, Carl. That's gonna happen because everybody is listening and everybody is waiting to say something and defend this if it ain't right and exact. Point blank, period, dog. But other than that, man, life is gonna be good. I had a little slight setback, but I'm back.
Well, peace, God. You know, it's peace to add on with you, God.
Yeah, you already know.
You know, we you know, we gonna get. I built with Kara recently. You know what I mean?
Oh, Freckle. Yeah, Freckle. Oh, yeah, Karam, my man.
Yeah. He came through and we added on. I don't know if you've seen the joints that I put up on a.
I saw one of them. I think.
Okay.
But I didn't hit the thing yet. I'm about to watch all this today.
Yeah.
I got the time.
We went through a few things though. You know, it's peace though. So yeah, God. You know, my line's open, God. You know, we built soon.
You already know, God.
All right, Almighty. Peace to the God.
Peace, God.